Hello everyone, I'm Leora Sims. Welcome to my channel, and welcome to my favorite starter home to date that I built. This is City Starter, and it is meant for the city. So if we ever get an expansion pack, or a game pack that has a city in it, this is a very good starter home to use. Now the house is rather small, and it's made to look rather small. It's on a 30 by 20 lot, but it's made to look, I believe, smaller than that because city real estate is extremely expensive. So a person or a sim could have a very small place and pay a lot of simoleons for that place. When your sim enters the home, here is the living room. Here is the kitchen. I love the way the kitchen turned out. Now in this kitchen you have a stove and a fridge and a table and chairs, but you don't have a tea maker or an ice cream maker or any of the other extra amenities that we have in The Sims 4 right now, because I was trying to save money, and I imagine that the Sims moving in to this home would want to save up for that stuff and customize their kitchen to their taste. Maybe they're coffee drinkers, maybe they're tea drinkers. In fact, I almost forgot to put a sink in this slot. Right before I started recording, I realized that I forgot a sink, and I put it in at the last minute. I chose to use the cheapest sink in game. You do have a smoke alarm and a sprinkler system, which I find are very important things to have in a Sims home, especially in the beginning of gameplay. And especially because we don't have firefighters, which The Sims 4 really needs. And to be honest with you guys, I try my hardest to make sure that my Sims never burn down their home, because you can't get out of it. You can't restart the game or anything. If there's nobody home, your sim just dies. And maybe I'm very sensitive, but I have actually had a situation where I loved a particular sim. Maybe I based a sim on one of my family members, and they had a fireplace, and the sim began to burn to death, and I got really emotional, and I had to shut off the game. I deleted that game, and I started the a new game with the same family, with the sim, who of course was alive, and I kept him away from the fireplace after that. I really got emotional. I don't like to watch Sims die or burn to death, because this is a life simulation, and especially the fire death. I think that they they kind of made that death in The Sims 4 maybe not realistic, but it looks like it could be realistic, and it just looked so painful to me, and um I really did cry, and I like I said, I got out of the game. My other sim in the household lost her husband, and I was very sad. So I did, like I said, I got out of the game, and I reloaded that family into a new game, and everybody was happy again, because I was not trying to do a video where somebody died or anything. It was just a fluke. I mean, I didn't even think he was standing by the fireplace long enough to burn to death. So I'm very careful with fireplaces now too. Anyway, back to the build. So, this is the master bedroom. The master bedroom has a double bed and, of course, a dresser. For this home, you need Dine Out and the base game. I used Dine Out carpeting. It is the best carpeting in the game. A lot of times I've tried to use carpeting in the past for bedrooms, and when I place it down, it really doesn't look like carpeting to me. This actually looks like carpeting. So I really hope that they have more carpeting like this in the future. Maybe that I would have preferred a carpeting that didn't look like it had a design on it. I just wanted a carpet to look like carpet. So I hope that they add more carpeting to the game that's similar to this, without the design. And I hope that they patch it into the base game, because everybody deserves carpet that looks like carpet. even if you don't get everything that the Sims franchise has to offer. Some people just have the base game, and some people opt out of getting certain packs. I mean, they might have some packs, but not all. And as I said, there are some people that just have the base game only. And the carpet in the base game, to me, doesn't look like carpet. So here we have the second bedroom. I love this bedroom. I know to you that it must look simple, but The Sims 4 has a lot of big toys, and I have never built a bedroom big enough to fit the dollhouse. And in the starter home, there is room for the dollhouse. So if your Sim moves into this house and has a child, that child can get the dollhouse for their birthday or for a special occasion. And that is why I love this bedroom. I also love the walls in this room and the placement of the windows, and I think that the colors go very well together in this room. And it's the first time that I use that dresser in that color. I really love it, and I didn't even know that we had it. So for a little while, I felt like I had a brand new stuff pack. I didn't get kids' room stuff, but that's okay because I felt like I got a new dresser. Now, we'll go back to the kitchen. And here is a small outdoor area. Your Sim can get down without steps, so there's no step there actually. I was concerned that the Sim wouldn't be able to get down. I tried to attach steps to that area, and it was hard for me to do it. I didn't understand why. And then I tried all these different things, and then I realized I didn't like the way it looked with a step on it. And then I realized that the Sim didn't need the step. So this area is paved with brick. This is similar to the outside. I took inspiration from the outside of my house growing up. Of course, the front was concrete, and the back was a different kind of concrete that was reddish in color, but we don't have that in the game. This is the closest I could get to that pavement. And this is what you'll see in a lot of cities. And because I had some extra space, I put some dirt here, and your Sim has a flower pot if they choose to garden. I know that my parents had a small little garden that was, the garden area was made of brick. I probably said this once before, probably when I did the lot showcase for Newcrest's Red, which is a house that I built for Newcrest, that has a garden in it. But So they had a garden, and in their garden, my parents had tomatoes and basil leaf and all kinds of different herbs. And my teachers used to ask me for tomatoes for their salads. Because I used to do that. I used to bring my teachers tomatoes or whatever we were growing at the time for their salads, and they would eat it, of course. And then after they would eat it, they would ask me for more. And that is so that is something that I like to incorporate in my builds when I can. Because even in the city, we garden people. We do. And it was very nice to have that little garden. The reason that I chose this brick for the front of the house um, is because my porch area was this blue grayish concrete with brick on the sides. I lived in a two-family home, and on each side there was a stoop, and that stoop led to my neighbor's home, and these half walls in game look like the stoop that I had, except that I didn't have anything blue to paint it with, so I went with the brick. But yeah, I sometimes I would sit outside. There was a chair on my porch right by the stoop, and I would just talk to my neighbor, or my parents would talk to my neighbor that way. You really get to know your neighbors when your houses are actually attached. So on this side, if this were my home growing up, there would be another half wall here and another neighbor. But we don't have that ability in The Sims 4. We need apartments, and we need a roommate system. I just felt that this house looked better on this side with a full wall. And here's the mailbox. And I will add a trash can before I upload this to the gallery. In fact, let me just do it now. If not, it's gonna bother me, because I did have a trash can, and maybe I made a room bigger, maybe I made the building bigger. It was deleted. I'm surprised again that there was no, just like I was surprised that there was no sink. Before I started recording this, I realized that the dresser in the kids' room had been deleted, so I didn't realize that the trash can had been deleted too. But I'm going to take care of that right now. And you'll see how I place... Oh, no, I am so sorry. The trash can... I knew that couldn't have gotten deleted. The trash can is right here. When I place a trash can, since I started to tell you, when I place a trash can, I like to make it look like it's right by the curb. So I imagine that you would step off. We don't really have curbs in The Sims 4, but and I don't like curbs because I have a physical disability. But in real life, unfortunately, in a lot of places there are curbs. So I like to imagine that the curb would be almost right where the trash can is, because I try to make my homes realistically. I'm so glad I didn't forget that trash can. And I'm so glad it didn't, well, I know I didn't forget it, but I'm so glad that it didn't get deleted, because I was thinking to myself that as I told you, the dresser for the kids' room had gotten deleted. But I could understand that. You make a room a little bigger or a little smaller. Sometimes furniture gets deleted, but I was thinking, why would my game delete the trash can? Especially because of where I put the trash can. I didn't put the trash can right by the house, so if I made the house any bigger or smaller, I didn't think that it would delete. And it didn't. So my game is working properly, that means. I'm sorry guys, right before this video I had some technical difficulties that were my own fault, and so I'm slowly recovering from those technical difficulties. So now I'm going into build mode. And I will show you what the roof looks like. So here's the gallery's first picture. Here's the second picture. And here's the third. The first and second to me are the most important. Here's the first again. Here's the second. And this home is 17,739 simoleons. It will still be a starter home, but I will add a light off camera before I upload this home to the gallery, because I just realized that I didn't put any outside lights, and I need the outside lights in order to see. So I hope that you enjoy this home. I promise that by the time you download it, there will be some lights on the outside. Thank you so much for watching, and enjoy the lot. Again, this is called City Starter, and my name on the gallery is Leora18. Be happy, guys.